Alright, my mans, I need y'all to state your name and let them know this is Nicovelli TV, starting with my man on the right.
My name is Snipes, man. Everybody call me Shop. It's my first name, but you call me Snipes.
Alright, and you're on Nicovelli
TV, man. Everybody in the hood call me Big Time, aka Juggernaut. Everybody know me back in my old hood, Big Will. So you know how we do.
Alright, that's what's up. And we on Nicovelli TV.
That's right, we on Nicovelli TV.
Alright.
We're going to talk some Knick talk.
Now talk to me, man. Knick fans.
Alright, Knicks fans.
All y'all Knick fans?
Yes, I am. I'm a Knicks fan. I mean, I gotta be a Knicks fan because I live in New York, born and raised, Harlem, so can't not want the Knicks to win. I want them to win. Just so many letdowns, though, you know?
Like what? Be specific.
Man, well, I could go way back. Like I said, Charles Smith. Talking about Charles Smith, I had an opportunity to beat the Bulls back in the days. Kept getting his shot swatted by Scottie Pippen. I know that haunted him forever. Actually, I don't think we see him no more after that. He was history after that. I think that was it after that. That should bother him mentally too. You know?
Oh, that's when he was labeled Cinderella?
Yeah. Then you had Patrick Ewing with that finger roll he missed, big as he is, all them dunks he used to catch. He went up with a finger roll and missed. That shit rolled in and rolled out. That was hurtful.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned about the finger roll.
That was hurtful.
I interviewed someone who said that he had a torn, like his hamstring was sore during that game. Yeah, that's why he couldn't dunk.
But check it out. No matter what, with the adrenaline of the game going on, he's a 7-footer. He ain't have to jump much. You know what I'm saying? All it took was a little, and that was it.
So all he needed was some Dennis Rodman high heels?
A little oomph. Add a little oomph to it. That's it, man. A little light, and that ball would have went in, man. So, you know, we waited so long that was the moment that everybody was in their living room. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. They're going to beat him. I hold him forever too. Yeah. Ask yourself, how many 7-footers you see finger roll that close to the basket when the game is on the line? 7-footers. Man, they never gonna finger roll. They gonna go off the glass or they gonna go for the dunk. The game on the line, I'm not gonna take that chance. You know, boof that shit. Or if you get fouled, go to the foul line.
All right. So how much blame do you place on the coach there? Because Pat Riley was the coach at the time, man. And you had players like John Starks went for 3 for 18. Let's talk about that. You had Alonzo Blackman on the bench, who was a gunner in. I mean, we had some players, man.
I don't put no blame on Pat. But the thing was, Ewing was the superstar, period. And at that time, by the ball being in his hands, and everybody knew the ball was going to go to Ewing for the most part, and by him being hurt so many times by Chicago and other people, he should have known intelligently, let me not take no chances, let me just boof this, you know what, and get it over with. And that was something that he didn't do. So I guess that's why over the years, Knicks fans had a love-hate, you know, for Ewing and didn't really appreciate him until he was gone. And once Ewing was gone, it seemed like the curse, you know, stayed on, because actually it wasn't really a curse when Ewing and them was there, because they did have success. You know what I'm saying? They did win. You know, they played a lot of tough battles with Chicago, Detroit, different. You know, the Heat, Miami. That was their rivalry. That was their rivalry. No, that wasn't their only rival. They had more than one rival. It was Miami and Indiana.
What about the Bulls? The Bulls, man.
Yeah, the Bulls too. Yeah, the Bulls was, you know. See, like but they two rivals to always get to the Bulls. It was the Bulls, man. They two rivals to get to the Bulls was always Indiana and Miami. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Indiana and Miami. But the only thing is, you know, Pat Riley was a good coach, man. He got chips for other teams. You know, he the coach at the end of the day. If he put y'all together till y'all made it to the finals or the Eastern Conference Finals, he did his job. The rest is for you to seal the deal when you got them easy baskets like that.
So you don't blame Pat Riley for the Pat finger roll. Nah, you don't blame Pat Riley.
He decided to do.
You don't blame Pat Riley for John Starks 3 for 18.
Nah, I don't blame him for that neither, because nobody was mad at John Starks when he caught that dunk on Michael Jordan and Horace Grant together. And people forget that. Listen, that's one of the biggest highlights ever on the Chicago Bulls from the Knicks, or I think it is the biggest highlight ever from a Knicks player on the Chicago Bulls from a Knicks player. When John Starks caught that dunk, that was the biggest. Everybody be like, Jordan wasn't there, but if you look at the tape, Jordan was in the air and Horace Grant. You know.
So what do you say to those who say that Michael Jordan didn't get caught out there? Because there's people
He
today
got caught out there. He was in
that's saying that John Starks didn't dunk on him.
Listen, everybody could go look at that video over 100 times if you want to. Only 2 men jumped in the air. Horace Grant and Mike was in the air. Once you in the air, and y'all the 2 closest players to him,
that's it.
He caught both of y'all. You get what I'm saying? So he caught the dunk on both of y'all. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't blame Pat Riley, man. Like I said, at the end of the day, in this era we live in now, it's not even about the players, bro. It's about I think about Dolan, bro. You know, like it started with, like I said, with Allan Houston. You give Allan Houston all his money. He one of the highest paid Knicks ever. You give him all his money. And to me, he was never even a legitimate shooting guard.
That's where they messed up at.
Like, he never caught no dunks. What kind of shooting guard don't go for a dunk? All he do was run and pull up, run and pull up. Like,
hold that thought. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, basically, Allan Houston was a great player, but he was a star, but a superstar, no. He wasn't supposed to get that superstar money. No. Star money, definitely. He definitely was a star. You know, I think he averaged like 20 points at that time. And him, I believe Sprewell was with him at the time, you know, and they was doing a 1-2 thing. Right. You know, Ewing was getting a little older and stuff like that. So they had to pay somebody that type of money to keep it rolling. But Allan Houston was just mainly like a sharpshooter in a way, but he couldn't really do too much of the other things that the Knicks needed to take them over the next level, you know. So at that time, as far as I can remember, you know, the Knicks was just hanging in there, but they wasn't getting far after that. Once Ewing started to get all these injuries and started to get on the decline, right. You know. And then ever since then, you know, I think Dolan didn't do a job of building a team strong enough to really compete on a level that New York should have. You know what I'm saying? It's the Mecca. It's the Mecca of ball.
He always pick up superstars, but when they on their way out, he picked up Mari Stoudemire. You didn't get us a Mari Stoudemire when he was the Phoenix Suns of Mari Stoudemire. You got him on his way out.
And injury prone.
Injury prone. You know, I'm not gonna really say that about Sprewell. Sprewell did a good job with the. You know, he played still at almost the same level, close to the same level he was with Golden State. But it's like most of the players that he get, you know, they either on their way out. You get what I'm saying, or they injured. We never get a superstar that starts from the Knicks and make his name. You get what I'm saying? We get somebody that had a name already, but he's on a decline.
All right, you know so I want to ask you a question. What do you think the Knicks curse began with? Would you say it began with Allan Houston?
I think so. Yeah. Because he the first one to mess up the budget. He the first dude you gave a lot of money that couldn't fulfill all that money you gave him. You get what I'm saying? Like, didn't they say they gave Allan Houston so much money he stopped playing and wound up taking some of that money to do stuff with the team or something like that? Like, he had, what was his contract? $90 million for what? How many years?
It was $100 million.
$100 million for how? Yeah, bro. Like, he had Kobe in them type of contracts. You get what I'm saying? And
that time, that was like a player making $200 million back then.
He didn't live up to his name
$100 million was a big deal, you know?
Yeah, he didn't live up to his name.
So let me ask you this. Let me get back to you, big man. Talk to me about Charles Oakley. How you feel about Oakley's game and the situation he went through with the Knicks? I'm going to ask you, then I'm going to get to you with the same question.
I'm going to be honest, man. To me, he was the backbone of the Knicks. He was the dude where, you know, he was like their Dennis Rodman. You know, like, he played good defense, you know, rebounds, everything, but he was a dude on their team where you knew not to go too far, yo. The Oak Tree probably punch you in the face like Charles Barkley. So he was the backbone of their team. He the one kept them strong. Him and Anthony Mason. You get what I'm saying? So I like Oak Tree because he was there to do what he was supposed to do, like Dennis Rodman, play defense, grab rebounds. You know, he took shots occasionally, you know, and made big shots, but Oak Tree was good, bro. I like Oak Tree.
Yeah, and your input?
Yeah, basically he was the enforcer of the team. He did all of the dirty work.
Right.
He cleaned things up. He was the backbone when they tried to get rough. He was rough back. Him and Anthony Mason was the body. You know, they threw people around. They didn't take no bull crap from nobody. You know, and that's what made the Knicks really strong. Now the second part of the curse was Mari Stoudemire signing. Because the Knicks got desperate, they had to make some type of move that would solidify them again, but they made it at the wrong time, meaning Amari was on his way down, you know, and he was not really just on the way down, it was that he was injury prone also, you know. So,
I'm glad you brought his name up, because I got a question.
He wasn't the second person on his way down. Technically, it was really Larry Johnson, Grandmama. Grandmama's knees was kind of messed up when he got there too. He wasn't on the same level as he was when he was with
That's
with
true.
the Hornets.
Remember, they still had Sprewell and they still had Houston at that time.
Right.
So it was like he blended in with them, and it was what it was.
But if
and
he
they
played
still
on
had
the
some
level
form
he
of
was
success
when he was with the Charlotte Hornets,
the
name he had then,
But remember, he hit that shot, so they went to the finals. So they did have success with him. You know what I'm saying?
they had success.
Larry Johnson hit that big shot. You know what I mean? That brought them to the finals. That's when they played San Antonio on that lockout season.
Yeah.
All right, hold on for a second. I want to ask you a question, because you brought up Amari.
All right.
Do you think it was a setback trying to get Amari and Carmelo Anthony to play together? Did these two individuals get along? Was this egos flaring up with?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think there was those type of players with each other.
Because the Knicks was supposed to make Amari a star in New York. Then the next thing you know, Carmelo Anthony came aboard.
He didn't come till later.
Amari was hurt. He got really hurt, bro. His back was messed up.
Hold on for that. Then we'll get to you.
Remember, Carmelo didn't come till later. Amari been there for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he tried his best to hold it down. He did his thing, you know, but it just wasn't enough because he was injured, you know, prone. So basically, they paid him a lot of money because, like I said, they had to make a move to keep the name running so people could buy those tickets and stuff like that. Right. But it wasn't the smart move. Instead of just saying, let's get a lot of good pieces, and then when that superstar come in the draft or whatever, let's build that way, they just keep jumping the gun, you know? And then after him, here comes Carmelo. They damn near cleared the whole team just to get Carmelo, which is, anybody would have did that for Carmelo because he was a superstar at that time. Not a star, a superstar, Carmelo was. So it's like, okay, but they cleared the team for him.
But do you think Amari and Melo was able to coexist together? All that. Your input, what you think?
I think they would have made it together because they played two different positions. You know, they play two different positions. I think they would have coexist pretty well together. I mean, Carmelo likes to shoot. I feel more than Amari. I feel when Amari got with the Knicks, you know, his role slowed down. But the difference between both of them is when Carmelo got with the Knicks, he wasn't injured. He didn't have no injuries. He was still Carmelo Anthony. When Amari got there, he had that injury, bro, and that injury caused him to not play exactly the same way he was with the Phoenix Suns. So he had to drop his role slightly. You know, he had to play a little bit differently, you know what I mean? Like, he wasn't explosive as much as he was when he was with Phoenix Suns, you know what I mean? So.
And why is that? Do you think it's the pressure? Why is that players come from other teams? They do the damn thing, then when they get to the Knicks, you see a glimpse of that.
Because most of them, like I said before, most of them are injured or on their way out.
Because nobody's going to give up their star that's uninjured.
Yeah.
On the uprise and doing their thing. Nobody gonna let go of their star. Yeah. Nobody. They knew something was wrong. Every player they gave away, they knew something was wrong with them. Right. So that's why they let him go.
Carmelo performed good there. I'm not gonna lie, he did. But
I mean,
when they got him, he didn't have a team around him like he needed.
They cleared the team out.
So you ask me,
some would beg to differ with that.
Yeah.
Because some was saying that Melo was a ball hog. He ain't passed the ball. Now it's true.
Kobe do.
Isolate. Like, he played half-court isolation.
Right.
You know. And, but I must admit, Knicks ain't go to the playoffs since Melo been on the squad, on the roster.
Right.
2012 when we had the coach, Mike Woodson.
I thought they went to the playoffs. Wasn't when Jason Kidd was there? They went to the playoffs?
I don't think so. The last time... But the last time,
50-something games, 54.
I don't know. I don't want to say something. I'm not quite sure. I know the last time.
I know for a fact
the last time the Knicks went to the playoffs was in 2012, man. 2012, right. Under Mike Woodson, man. It's a fact.
I believe, and that must be when they won that 50-something games, and Jason Kidd was on the team.
I'm not sure on that, man. And you too big to say you don't know what the fuck you talking about.
No.
So I'm going to eat that.
When we go back, we'll see. I mean, I can look it up now.
I think Carmelo, they would have went further, but he didn't have a team around him, bro. Like, what stars he really had on the team with him? Tyson Chandler.
You had Felton was there at the time.
Yeah, you're right. Chandler was there.
Chandler was there, but Chandler not a legit center.
He was okay, but you know,
to me, he's the center that he gotta feed off of you. Like, he can't create his own shot.
There you go. Right.
Tyson Chandler can't create his own shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like Kenyon Martin and
clean
shit
up
like
man,
that.
clean up man.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
get the
like,
boards, you know, putbacks and shit like that.
Yeah, you know that he wasn't a legit center like that. You have Felton. Felton is
defense, swap balls, stuff like that. Energetic player.
All right, now we're gonna move it up just a little. Starting with big man on my right. How do you feel about Chris Porzingis bolting from the Knicks because he didn't get the $10 million extension contract? That's what this was about. Now, Chris Porzingis was noted saying that he loved the Knicks and he's behind the Knicks franchise as long as he's the #1 option.
Right.
When there was talks about Kyrie and Kevin Durant coming to the city, which we would get to that later, all of a sudden, he wants to get traded.
Right.
Now, Clyde Frazier let it be known. Don't give that man the $10 million until you see what he's going to come back like after an injury like that.
Right.
What's your input? Did Chris Porzingis shit on New York, or did New York make the right move to let him go without fighting for him?
I mean, that's a tough one, man, because like you said, you don't really pay that money until you know how they come back from that injury. But at the same time, he was one of the best players the Knicks had in the last couple of years, bro. Like, he was knocking down big shots, three-pointers, his rebounds, he moved good. So it's like, and
he was young.
He wanted to play players, like I said, he didn't come with a name from somewhere else. He created his name there. You get what I'm saying? So for the first time, you had a player that actually was making his name there, and you let him go. I would have gave him the $10 million, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna still play good. And I would have kept him, B. I ain't gonna lie. He did good for you. It's not like
the only scary
he
thing
did good
is
for
that
you, bro.
He's a 7-footer, basically that's injury prone. So maybe they got scared, and that's what made them back out. You know what I mean? I think overall they wasn't gonna let that talent go. But I think he's been injured so much, he never really played a solid season, you know, without injury. So this, in my opinion, is why I think they let him go, because the last
sometimes
few years
those injuries come when you put too much pressure on one man. He ain't really had nobody there to do nothing, so he was forced to do a lot of things. Sometimes that's how those injuries happen. If you set him up with a better team, where he only got to do what he need to do, maybe he won't get injured as much. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's another thing, too. You won't give him $10 million. But to get back to this again, you won't give him $10 million to stay, but you giving all these other players like Allan Houston and them back in the, you know, all this money. You get what I'm saying? Now you worry about giving a dude chump, which is chump change compared to. Listen, if you gave him $10 million for 3 years, that's still only $30 million.
Yeah, but would it be fair to say that the Knicks is not making the same mistakes? Like you say, you put in your grief and talking about Allan Houston, how he was getting all this money, he ain't deserve it. We got to learn from that. We can't keep making the same mistakes.
But you got to learn with the right players. Like, to me, I would have picked up Kevin Durant. Because I ain't going to lie, I feel he wanted to play. Listen, B, let's not forget now, even with the injury, you put him in for a couple of seconds. Listen, when he was in the playoffs, bro, even for a couple of seconds when you put him in and the injury not even fully gone, he makes that much of a difference.
Now, let me ask you something about that, because once again, I was on that KD time too.
Right.
But clearly, he's sensitive.
Right.
Personally, I don't think he can handle the pressure coming from New York Knicks fans. He went off Broadway instead of going on the Broadway show. This is New York, man. He went to Brooklyn. No disrespect to Brooklyn.
He didn't want to go to Brooklyn.
What you mean he ain't want to go to Brooklyn?
He wanted New York, remember? Dolan turned it down.
Well, the head...
wanted to see the injury reports and all of that stuff, remember?
His choice, him and Kyrie's choice, was to come to the New York Knicks. Dolan turned him down because now you decide, all right, I ain't gonna put on a player that look like he on his way out and give him no money. Now you decide, actually, you decide to do that now with the best player you ever had an opportunity of getting. Because technically, he the best player that he ever had an opportunity of getting, because not only because his stats, but the man, look how many rings he won with Golden State.
Who don't respect him.
Listen,
that man feel like he ain't got rings.
Listen, I respect him. You know,
Golden State, Draymond Green. But before we get to that, hold that thought, please hold that thought, because now we get to the meat of the bone. That's what's up, man.
Right.
My man jumped into the KD segment. We're gonna get into it, man. Now you said that the Knicks organization turned down Kevin Durant.
Right.
Do you know that Kevin Durant has been speaking to news reporters saying that he never had intentions to sign with the Knicks? Is he lying?
I think he's lying, because all the rumors. Basically, him signing with a New York team wasn't just based on, I believe, his own. I think it was still based on Kyrie. Remember, the talk wasn't only about him coming in. It was always about Kevin Kyrie. I know he was communicating with him a couple of times. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie always wanted to play for the Knicks. So I believe Kev. And then you got to remember what we heard. Remember what we heard. We heard that the Knicks could have got him, but Dolan didn't want him. That's what we heard. So you could say you ain't had no intentions of going, but when we hear Dolan could have signed you and he refused it, I guess he's like, oh well, I didn't care about going there anyway.
Are you concerned about his injuries? He got a torn Achilles.
I think he's gonna come back from that, B, because I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I said,
how many players you know come back from an injury like that?
It's not
and
play.
Kobe did.
Kobe retired behind his injuries.
No, look how long he played with the torn Achilles for a while and was still playing at a good level before he left. He was playing with that torn Achilles and was still playing better than Dwayne Wade at that age, bro. I go to Dwayne Wade playing at Kobe Bryant's age. My man, he played better than Dwayne Wade at that age. He played better than Dwayne Wade. He was a beast still, bro.
Hold that thought. I'm gonna ask you the same question. Is KD scared to play for the New York Knicks?
He's scared.
Can he handle the pressure?
I don't think he could truly handle the. Well, you saying he's sensitive, which
yeah, he be on Twitter, dummy accounts.
No. He's sensitive, so I don't think he can handle pressure in that way. But as far as his talent and ability, of course he can handle it. Like I don't think he would freeze in the moment. As far as performance because he's gifted. You know what I mean? So he'll be able to do his job. But as far as reporters, he would definitely have a problem. It would get to him. It would get to him mentally.
The fans would have embraced him, bro. You know? Because we get back to the Golden State thing.
Right. We just want to win.
A lot of people talk about him and be like, yo, you know. He went with Golden State, this and that. He didn't just go with Golden State and win no chip. When he went there, he was Finals MVP. That mean I didn't just get here and they carry me. I was the #1 dude when I got here. So it's a difference when you say a dude went to a team and he went to the enemy, but he only won because he went with them. No, I didn't just go to them. I made them better. Matter of fact, when I got here, Steph Curry wasn't getting no Finals MVP. The last 2 chips they got when I was here, I got Finals MVP. That's a statement right there, bro.
Okay.
That's a statement right there. That means, my man, I'm not just no dude that's along for the ride. When I get here, I run the show. That's what that means. I run the show. Steph Curry ain't getting no Finals MVP. When I get here, my man, not only that, I'm going to be the one cutting LeBron ass. My man, who was the one cutting LeBron ass? My man, when you see him jump in the air for them threes and LeBron hand right here can't block that joint that was going in. That was Kevin Durant.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. Like, he didn't just get there and, you know, well, I'm going to go play for the enemy or whatever and sign with a team that's already stacked. No, I'm going to go there and I'm going to make sure when I get there, I'm going to get the chip with them, and I'm going to be the best dude with the chip because I'm going to get Finals MVP. And if he didn't get, I still say right now, if he didn't get injured, they would have won that shit again this year, and he'd have Finals MVP again.
Okay.
The little bit of time that he got in there and played, even with the torn joint, you could see even then, they still couldn't stop him, bro.
All right.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, man, I was Bob Dolan, I would have gave him a shot.
All right, we're going to switch it up. We're going to talk about Knick guards.
Right.
Who's the best Knick guard you ever seen play in a Knickerbocker jersey? You could go back to Clyde Frazier, to Marbury, to the likes of Trey Burke before he was
Shooting
just...
guards or point guard?
Let's go point guard.
It might have been Ross Strickland, me.
Ross Strickland? Yeah.
Wow. He went into all counts for that one.
Ross Strickland, me.
What you liked about Rob Strickland game?
Listen, man, Ross Strickland was nasty, bro. Like, his handle, everything about him, like, Stephon Marbury and them was good, but I ain't gonna lie, I'd take Ross Strickland, bro.
Over any guard?
I think I'd take him over any point guard they had, yep. Over any point guard.
Going how far back?
As far as I can remember, you know. Like, my man, I'm an older dude, so I don't go that far back, but I go back to him, and I ain't gonna lie, Ross Strickland was, he was nasty, bro.
You got him over Trey Burke?
You know what? I gotta go see them play, look at some tapes. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm more than likely, I'm taking Ross Strickland, B. Ross Strickland was, his name alone, everybody know already. He was nasty, bro. With the handle, with passing, with everything. You know what I mean? Definitely over Stephon Marbury in them. You know what I mean?
As far as point guards, I would say Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson?
Mark Jackson for me.
Explain to me why.
Mark Jackson was very intelligent on the court. You know, he kept everybody in rotation. He knew how to get the ball to his man, to open men. He was like the coach's coach, you know, on a team. He kept the poise, he controlled the traffic. Sort of like Jason Kidd in a way, but his own way, you know. And Mark was just an all-around solid player. And at that position, I think for the Knicks, nobody really did it like him as far as the overall game, you know, and controlling the team.
All right, all right.
I think Raw was more of a scorer, B.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know you remember Raw could pass the ball, but when it's time to score, Raw could score, B. When it's time to cross you up and all that, Raw.
No, the reason why I say Mark Jackson also is because it's about getting the team involved, making everybody else better. That's what you're supposed to do as a point guard, get everybody involved, make your team better, you know. Rod Strickland was definitely a better scorer, more fancy, more highlighted, but Mark Jackson, you know, he came to get it done, you know, as far as getting everybody involved and being super intelligent, you know, on the court for me.
All right, we're going to move it right up, man. Carmelo Anthony, man. We all know the situation with Melo. Can't find a place to stay. It looked like he might be with the Knicks. I don't know, man. He's practicing with players like Julius Randle.
Right.
But it hasn't been announced. I know that KD and Kyrie's trying to bring him to the Nets.
Get out of here.
Yeah, man.
Oh, man.
How do y'all feel about that, man? You think Melo should hang it up? Or do you think the New York Knicks should bring him in, have him play off the bench, and quietly have a retirement for him in the city that he played for?
I think he should go with the Knicks. Because I ain't gonna lie, he go to the Knicks, it's like you back with that team again, and you back under fire again. When things don't go right, being you the name, they still gonna be blaming you. And even if he coming off the bench. Now, he go to the Nets, I don't think they gonna have him playing off no bench, bro. I think he gonna be part of the five. And if you put him, Kyrie, and Durant together, all on the floor together, I ain't gonna lie, I think that'll be explosive still, you know what I mean? Because if you switching on trying to guard Durant every minute, which is, like I said, he almost impossible to guard. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be honest, B, it's really hard to guard him, B. Like, when he elevate for his shot, being his wingspan is like over a 7-footer, and that shot is water, it's hard to guard him. But if you switching off, you got to double team off him, and you got to guard Durant, and you leave Carmelo open, he going to knock it down. You know what I'm saying? So you
say what? Have Melo stay with the Knicks?
I ain't gonna lie. I think if he was smart, I wouldn't stay with the Knicks. If you're not gonna build me nobody if you're gonna put me back in the same situation, why am I coming back?
Well, Carmelo and Anthony got in the situation that he's in due to Phil Jackson and Mike D. Them two had it out for him.
Right. Not only that, Knicks still doing the same stupid stuff. I forgot. Didn't they re-sign Hardaway's son and gave him more money?
Well, he's not with us now.
But remember, didn't they just re-sign him last year or the year before?
Yeah, I mean, he's been with the Knicks twice already.
Right, and when you bought him back, you gave him more money than last time. So basically, they still doing
They did do that.
Listen, they still doing the same shit. So
that's why I say it's a curse, right?
Go ahead.
It's a curse because the Knicks just, every time when you think they're right there to get it right, they do some dumb shit. And it all falls back on Dolan because he got the money. So he has the power, so he could pull the strings. He just needs to get somebody in there that he could give full authority to recruit, and to make the right pieces fit, to get the show back on the road the way it should be. I think they did a good thing by draft, in the draft, getting young good players, and with Randle, being on the team.
Talk to me. How you feel about Randle?
He's solid. He improved, Over time, I would say he's definitely improved. Yeah. We'll see how he play in New York, It's a whole new arena, but it's going to be his team,
Oh, you think Randle's the best player on the Knicks?
As of right now, because of the experience, But the other young kid, what's his name?
We got Bobby Portis. No. We got Julius Randle.
No, I'm talking about
R.J. Barrett?
Yeah, Barrett.
Talk to me about R.J. Barrett, man. Because we was supposed to get Zion. I'm glad you mentioned that up. We were supposed to get Zion Williams. We didn't get him. We got the number 3 draft.
That's the curse too,
basically what I'm saying is that R.J. Barrett could be whatever the Knicks, sky's the limit. he could be that dude, you know. He's still young now, so we got to give him a break. He's just getting in the league, you know, give him some time to grow. But his skill set is real high, so he should definitely, you know, do good.
Now, I hear a little crack of rumors saying that Kevin Knox really don't want him there. Like, R.J. Barrett gonna take his minutes.
Hey, listen, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I like people to fight against minutes. That brings the best out of both of them. So now somebody gonna shine through. So I'm not biased to whoever. Whoever shine through, they shine through.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to put that work in and that time in and show who really won it. Yeah. You know?
Okay.
Knox been there about 2-3 years now.
You like his game?
Knox game is okay. You know, it's okay. I feel that everybody can improve, man. Yeah. You know, through time. You know, there's been a lot of players in the past, you know, coming in, they didn't do so good. By their third year, was a star, and then superstars kept getting better and better. Like Damian Lillard. He kept getting better over years, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Randall is an example, you know. When he first came in, he was so-so, and then, you know, now they're saying he's a star. So, you know, people, you got to see
Knicks
people
really need a leader, man.
Do.
They need a superstar leader, bro.
But
like,
going back to you, big man, you said it was the curse.
Right.
R.J. Barrett. What, because we didn't get Zion?
Yeah, kind of, man, because I ain't going to lie. Zion is another player wanted to come to the Knicks. You know, we had our hopes up high. We're going to finally get a major superstar. Because, like I said, that's been our problem. That's really been our problem since I could ever remember with the Knicks, man. We never got a major superstar.
Since Ewing.
Since Ewing. Yeah.
Since Ewing.
No, like a dude that actually starts on our team and he's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Like Michael Jordan with the Bulls, Kobe Bryant.
But let me ask you this, though. You said that because we didn't get Zion.
Right.
I was upset too with this new 14% through the lottery pick.
Right.
I'm like, why this year?
Why this year?
Why
this year? Why the year that the Knicks
was tanking?
Was the first overall pick, y'all decided to change the system.
Yeah.
Okay. What is that? See what I'm saying?
Okay, I agree.
To the curse.
Yeah.
They never did this shit before, but now they do that. Right. I'm telling you, man.
Now, start with
curse. And the curse is, like I said, started off giving that money out, my man. You giving that money out to the bullshit player and not handling that money right. You ain't handled the money right, and now it's like we constantly curse now. You know what I mean? Like,
but Zion wins. I'm gonna get back to that because my man's overweight, busting out his shoe.
Yeah.
I mean, like, damn, he could have came to the Knicks like that.
But I ain't gonna lie. I think
they say overweight. He muscle bound.
They said overweight. He's muscle bound. He's still like a fat on him. He like a heavier LeBron, bro.
I don't see no fat on him.
He moved good with that weight.
He like a Mason. Remember Mason was brolic? Mason was
but move like LeBron.
Yeah. His athleticism is.
You got to keep in mind. You know who was over. We had a lot of overweight players that was no joke. Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was the first one of them type of
broccoli on steroids.
He was the first one of them type of players ever where he a heavy dude and he could run coast to coast and my man, he like a baby Shaq. You get what I'm saying? So I guess maybe because they're young still, their body can handle the weight. You understand what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna lie.
In the future,
in the future it might
jump so high.
In the future,
he's a high